#1 retailer and sponsor. And I always say, she can sell jewelry in a town where there are more cows than people, then so can you. Which is true. So she's from Trenton. You've been in Premier. 09, yes. We've been in Premier the same amount of time, yeah. And she has an amazing testimony, and I tell you, I've known her most of those 7 years, and she has worked her business through valleys when nothing was on her calendar, when she's had 20 shows on her calendar in a month. And she has remained consistent in Premier over time. So she knows how to book shows, she knows how to keep them, and she knows how to make her retail awesome and nice. So anyways, y'all please give a warm welcome to Stephanie Barron.
I know. Who wants to come sit up front? Okay, so really quick, I want to tell you a story about. I just started it down. Like Lacey.
I did.
No, I didn't. I want to tell you a story about a ship that set sail in 1519, and they were going to try to conquer this huge treasure that no one had ever conquered for 600 years, okay? So 600 years this army kept it, no one else could master it, and which was a huge deal. Well, they left from Cuba and went to the shores of the Yucatan Peninsula, and there was this guy by the name of Hernando Cortez, and Hernando was already a wealthy man, he was famous, he was from Spain. He didn't need any of the money or the riches or any of that, but what he thought was it would be fun to challenge people to try to go and win this treasure. So he gathered them together, and he knew that if he was going to win this treasure, that he was going to have to raise their standard of commitment to a level beyond what most people's commitment was already. Okay, so he gathered them together, and he told them, and the first thing he did was lay out a vision of what their lives were going to look like if they won the treasure. So he told them that their family's life would change forever for generations to come. It would change their children. You know, he laid a vision that he pumped them up and motivated them and encouraged them that they were going to win this treasure. Okay, so they took 11 ships, 500 soldiers, 100 sailors, 16 horses, and they set sail. Well, something crazy happened about midway through the journey. Hernando encountered a big problem, and they came to him. These same people that he had prayed about, the same people that prayed to God that they were going to win this treasure, they came to him and they started whining, and they said, I don't think I'm cut out to do this anymore. I just feel like I don't think God is with us. This is not what I'm called to do. And so I went off the ship. Well, they're in the middle of the ocean, okay? So there was so what did he have to do as the leader? He gathered them together again, and he encouraged them, and he cast that vision one more time, and he told them what their lives were going to look like if they won this treasure. He told them what their children's life was going to look like. And he believed more than anything that with this group of people, if he raised their commitment to a level beyond what people's ordinary commitment was, he could get this treasure. So after he motivated them, they kept going. All right, so they get to this shore, and they're finally there, and they're on the beaches of the shore, and he gathered them together, and he sat them down, and he told them one more time, he said, we can do this. And he raised their level of commitment, and he cast that vision one more time, and he showed them we're this close to doing something that nobody has ever done before. And so he gathered them together, and they quieted down. And this was the night before they were going to go in and capture this treasure. For 600 years, no one had ever captured this treasure. He gathered them together, and they thought that they were going to get the speech of their life and a battle plan. And if arrows start flying, then you meet me over here by the coconut tree, and we'll get out of here. But when he gathered them together, he quieted them down. He leaned in, he said, burn the boats. And they looked at him, and he said, burn our boats. And they burned the boats. They burned all 11 boats, because he knew the only way to go home was to get their boats and to win the treasure. So they had an easy option, a very easy decision to make. It was either die or win the treasure. So tonight I want to ask you, what are your boats What are your boasts that you need to burn, to give up, excuses that you need to leave here tonight to make this business work? And so the first thing I want to talk about is increasing your retail. Who in here wants to increase their retail? Woo! Okay, so the very first thing I want to tell you to do that you're going to have to raise your level of commitment in your business. You're going to have to raise it, but with your hostess also. So the first way that you can increase your retail is actually through home hostess coaching. How many of you in here actually 3 weeks ahead of time sit down one-on-one with your hostess and give her some expectations? Raise your hand. So we got 2, all right. 3. Okay, so what did you say? So 3 people in here that hostess coach. Well, there's something about a law, and it's the law of expectations, and it basically states you get what you expect, so why not expect the best? So you have to give her expectations because she does not know how to have a party, and you can't just assume that she knows what to do. So when you meet with her, you want to give her some expectations and some goals. And I thought there wouldn't be any better way to show you how to do this than to role play it, and then afterwards we'll take, if you have any questions, we'll stop and I'll go over why I do what I do. So, Tara, will you come up here and I'll role play it with you? I was going to pick Lydia, but she's brand new and
yeah, she'll probably scare you.
Okay, so 3 weeks beforehand, we get with your hostess and you want to book the show, and 3 weeks ahead of time, you want to meet her, and obviously the best place to do it is in the home, but if you can't, then somewhere, Starbucks, wherever. But the reason in the home is because you want to go there and see the layout and where the best lighting is, and build a relationship with her and a friendship. So inside, if you're a note taker, that inside a hostess packet, I put 2 catalogs, 5 order forms, a guest list, a tips for a successful home show sheet, and I can email this to Lacey, an OP, and some invitations. And so put all that in there, and then I take everything out and I go over with her one by one, and I just really get to know her during this time, and I would say I take about 30 minutes to an hour for each hostess 3 weeks ahead of time. So I'll just role play it. Okay, thank you for having this party for me, Tara.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Me too. Okay, so, all right. I got you some invitations right here, and you can just pass them out or mail them out or however you want to do it. And some order forms. Now, do you remember how to do these order forms?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so just be sure to get the credit card information and where they are. Okay. Now, I gave you 2 catalogs, and what you're going to want to do is just take a little sticky note and put right here, when you drop one of these catalogs off, what I want you to do is just say, I'm going to be back by Thursday, and I can't wait to see what you picked out.
Okay.
And sometimes you might even put, my favorite is on page 12.
Okay.
Because a woman's curiosity is not going to, she's going to open them up, and then once she gets to looking at it, then she's going to find something she likes. So keep one for a day or so, and make a wish list because we're going to close it out that night. And then also, if you see this little crown, you can hover over that. If you download our app, just hover over it, and it's going to show you all the ways to wear it and the pieces that go with it. So another thing is you can take a picture and click try it on, and you can try that necklace on.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's a really
I can't
cool
wait.
idea. So there's your 2 catalogs, and I'm also going to give you, well, I just want to take time to go over this with you really quick. Now, do you remember at Lacey's party, I gave away 2 $50 gift cards. Do you remember what they were for?
No, I don't remember what it was for, but I remember that
She got them.
got
Yes,
lots of
so
free
she's an
jewelry.
awesome hostess.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one is, if she held her show on the original day and had $100 in pre-sales, her Mary gave her $50 in free jewelry. So that's for you. So if you get $100 in pre-sales and hold it, then you're gonna get $50. But also, let me just tell you what I do for only my hostesses. If you sell $300 before taxes in pre-sales, I'm gonna let you choose one of our watches.
Oh, I'll go with that one.
Okay, girl.
Yeah, For free?
Yes,
Oh
from
my
me,
gosh.
only for hostesses. This is not for
Okay,
anyone else.
$300?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. So that is your pre-sale goal, is to get 300. I'm gonna put goal right there by it, okay? Now I want you to text me when you get your first 100,
Okay.
okay? All right, now that second $50 gift card, do you remember what it's for?
Bookings?
Yeah, actually it is, for 3 people at your
Okay.
party that will book a show. Now name 3 people,
Melissa,
okay?
Kayleen,
Okay.
and Amanda.
Okay, so now when I get there that night, I want you to introduce me specifically to these ladies and kind of whisper, you know, this is Melissa, the one I was telling you about who loves to have parties.
Okay.
And the reason why is, do you remember that game I played at Lacey's party,
Mhm.
that with the $500
Mhm.
bills? So I'm going to ask Melissa if she'll sit on the outside of the circle, because women do what other women do.
Okay.
So if she says yes, then yes, okay? So it's very strategic in placing her at that end of the circle, okay? So just remind me who Melissa and Kayleen and Amanda are. Okay, so, and then you'll get that $50. Now the next thing you want to do is, you've already mailed out invitations, and how are you going to invite the majority of your people?
I figured I'd just do Facebook.
No. Facebook does not work.
Really?
No.
I could do all my Facebook parties.
Oh, you are very, very like Christy. So most people actually do not attend many events off of Facebook. Yes, statistics show less than 2%. So, yeah. So what I wanted to just help you get a lot of people there. The best way to invite them is through a phone call. Did you know that most people don't get invited at all through phone calls anymore? But here's the best thing. That when you call Lacey, I always want you to, whoever party you went to before, call her, and that'll be your first guest. And be like, Lacey, my party's coming up. It's on the 27th. I can't wait for you to get, you know. So start with the one you went to the party with. That's your first guest. But when they hear the excitement in your voice, they're not going to let you know. But through a text message and through a Facebook email, it's so easy for people to not even respond. So the best way to get in there is call and then text. Okay? So, ladies are going to forget. They're just busy these days. So definitely send out a gentle reminder like 2 days before the show. Another thing that really works is you could just say, hey, Amanda, I forgot to grab the chips. Would you mind swinging by Publix and grabbing them for me? And if you get them to participate, they'll come, okay? Don't you like it? So, you know, that's another way you can get them to come, is to ask them to bring something you might have forgot. Accidentally on purpose. Okay, so let's see. Now, when you serve the snacks, we're going to serve last, because I don't know if you know this or not, but it is so hard to pull women away from food. So, at the end is when we're going to eat and kind of mingle and stuff. But beforehand, we need everybody at that jewelry table. Your only job that night is to greet the guests and bring them right over to me to where the table is, and we'll start trying it on and just having a good time. So, because since it's your home, they're going to follow you wherever you go. If you're in the kitchen, they're going to be in the kitchen. If you're at the table, they're going to be at the table. So, stay by me, and I will help you have a good party. Okay? And remember 3 S's when you're serving something salty, something sweet, and sweet tea or soda. And the reason why is you don't want to make the food better than the jewelry. Somebody might be there that wants to, like Melissa, she might want to book a party, but she can't afford to serve it in fancy dishes or the expense of, you know, gourmet. Yeah, corn dogs are great. Okay, but I hope she can afford corn dogs. So just keep it simple, and another reason, if you serve a lot, some of you might not, you know, can do that. So I always think chips and a veggie and fruit tray, and you're good. Okay. Now the only thing that you're going to have to pay for is $4 for shipping and taxes on your jewelry. It's all going to come to you in little individual bags that's stapled together with their names on it. So it's super easy as a hostess. Here's my website for anyone that's out of town or that you can't get a catalog to. Have them view that. Now then they'll call you with their order and your payment information. Now, if for some reason you can't hold this party on the original day, I need you to let me know by this Thursday, because I've already planned my month and got babysitters, and this is our only source of income, so I need to kind of rebook and kind of think that through. Let's see, and I also want you to make a wish list of everything that you want free, because we're going to close the party that night. Because people will ask you, Tara, when are you closing your party? I need to get you. They won't. So just tell them ahead of time, I'm closing it the night of. Okay? Now, okay, so hope that helps. Now, this is where the magic is right here. And this is a guest list. And I want you to name someone that is coming to your party. Melissa, okay. Somebody else?
My mom.
Mom, okay.
More?
Yeah, maybe like 15 more.
My sisters. Two of
Okay.
them, I got Timber and Amy.
Timber, Amy, okay.
Megan.
Megan, okay. That's a good start. You're doing awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to highlight all of your yeses. That way the day of, you can tell me exactly how many folders I need to bring, and you know how much food to prepare for, and you're not looking out the window wondering if someone's coming to your party. So highlight all of your yeses, and then name someone that's not going to come.
Lisa.
Lisa, okay. Anybody else? Maybe out of town family?
Brittany.
Brittany? Okay, so anybody that told you no, we're going to circle their name and put no by it. The reason why is because you want to win this watch, right?
Yes.
So you're going to try to get all of your no's a catalog ahead of time on either the online link.
Okay.
So it looks like we have about 11 no's on here, and if they all order just $35, that's $350 in pre-sales. And you've got your watch. Isn't that good?
Yeah.
Okay, so definitely get all of your no's. Now, there's always those people that fall into that category of maybe. They just never commit to anything.
Yeah.
Who are those? Oh, Christy! I knew you were going to say that.
Thank you.
Throw it back to her now. She needs it.
You guys gave y'all breakfast, so
Okay.
She wants to
so
take
give
notes.
her two.
So Christy, who else?
Another Megan.
Megan. Okay.
Danielle.
Danielle.
I commit.
She's out of town. She's in Iowa.
Danielle. Okay. So
I'll
all of these.
pre-order. Hey, I'm a no, actually.
Oh, kind of like too far from Gainesville. No excuses.
So all of your maybes, put a big question mark by the maybes. The reason why is if they come, they can change their order. Get an order ahead of time, and if they change it, it's still a pre-sale, and it's going to help you get to your, like I would say 60 or 70% of your party sales is going to come from pre-sales. So definitely work this ahead of time. Does that help you?
Yeah.
And if you fill out all of these spaces, I will pay your $4 for shipping for you.
Okay.
So here you go. Now the last thing I want to share with you is, have you ever thought about doing something alongside of your job like Premier to make extra money? No? Can I take just a second to share this with you? Yeah? Okay, so did you know as jewelers we make 50% of what we sell?
No.
Well, we do, and we get paid the day of our show. So Premier is designer inspired, which makes it kind of easy for every lady. It just always is in fashion and season, and so it makes it easy to be a jewelry lady. We have all of our jewelry it goes from $8 to $102. So every lady, every age, every style can afford a piece of Premier, and the average piece is $35 in our collection. So you're in business by yourself, or for yourself, but not by yourself. We have a great team. So that night of the party, would you want the profit to go in your bank account or in mine? Okay. We are ready to if you want, just as you're getting pre-sales, you can have them make the checks out to you, and that way we can go with it.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of how I hostess coach. I don't know if we want to stop right here and ask questions.
Yeah, girl, I got a question for you.
Okay.
You take an hour to coach
I really do.
somebody someone's gonna commit that time to you?
The whole point of the level of commitment, so you gotta raise their commitment to, I mean, yes.
And you
once
tell
you
them I'm
get-
gonna be there for an hour.
No, you don't talk much.
No.
Like
It'll
like
take
you
me
meet
about
them.
15 or 20 minutes.
But really 60.
Yeah.
Well, and once you get talking to them, like you meet them at Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
No, seriously, like you meet them at Dunkin' Donuts and you start talking and it ends up taking 30 or 45 minutes.
That took 20
Just-
minutes.
But you get talking when you're at
But I mean,
someone's.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
you
it's-
can.
that wasn't that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I did it really fast. Like the guest list, I would sit down and I would go over everything. Like I would help her fill out every slot, not every slot, but every section. Now brainstorm who drives a red car. Who do you know that drives a Tahoe? Who do you know that stays home? You know, like getting her to, because after all, your next hostess is gonna be your jewelry lady, another year from now, another hostess, that kind of thing. And then there's this, and I highlight, I really sit down and highlight. I know this looks messy, but people, it doesn't matter. I'm messy, I'm not organized at all.
I know what to expect when she shows
Yeah,
up.
but seriously, I highlight everything and I take my pen and I go right there, because the eye goes to where the pen is, and I start and I help her figure out, and I'm trying to give her expectations, but I forgot this is what I do next. Okay, Tara, so do you want to have an average show or $1,000 show? $1,000 show? Okay, so let me show you what you're going to need to get ahead of time. So you're going to need to get about 300 to 400 in free sales. But I think with your guest list, if you really start today and work it, you've got about 15 people on there already that said that they weren't going to come. So get them a free sale. And then that night of the party, we just need to have 600 in sales, which is on average what I said. So 600, and then that's $1,000. All you're gonna owe is $42 for taxes and shipping. You're gonna get 8 pieces of hat. Girl, all you're gonna have to pay is about $50 to have this party. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
So we're gonna shoot for an $1,000 party. And I just tell her that we're gonna pray that God blesses my efforts and her efforts, and that we match the same commitment level, then we're gonna have awesome parties. And to me, I would rather have 5 parties a month that are awesome versus 8 or 9 that are 300 or 400. So that's our goal, is to spend more time together and really build a rapport and relationship one-on-one and get her working with you on a great party. I don't know if anybody wants to see these or not. Messy. So that's, okay, so any more questions? Wow, I guess I did a good job explaining it.
What is going through y'all's head?
I have to, well,
Do you hostess coach? Do y'all hostess coach like this?
I do. I do not. My
I do
kids
not.
are in the car when I hostess.
Yeah.
And they ain't staying in there for an hour.
well, I mostly hostess coach at the party.
You have,
I have 2 though.
You
Yeah.
hostess coach at your
Yeah.
parties? See, I've never hostess coached anyone at a party before. Ever. And I don't mail any invitations. I've been in, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, and I've never mailed one single invitation. That's up to you, it's your preference.
what do you put, like, do you fill that out for them? You hand her.
What is on those?
No, they won't be invitation. So then
They're
they
from,
don't.
the invitation, so you just give her blank.
Yeah, I just give her blank
website.
invitations,
She can fill them out herself.
and she,
She wants to do.
How many invitations do you give her?
about 10 or 15. Yeah.
What happened at the end? Is she a jewelry lady? You said you could make the check.
She goes more to depth.
Yeah, I'll go more into depth, but I didn't want tonight to be about sponsoring or anything. I just, you know,
Yeah.
you're planting a seed right now and asking her if she would, you know,
So
like
she didn't sign up.
yes. No, I just,
the
do you
idea.
want,
And usually like
You
if they're
want the
interested,
profit?
you can tell they'll be like, well, how much is it to get started or what, you know.
So are you saying that one-on-one, like, meeting is better than putting all that in an email?
yeah.
So you don't give them a packet at the show, but they put it on the post
Yeah, ma'am.
you don't give them stuff, you'll see them on, just go ahead and make the appointment
Yep.
that day with them then.
So
Bring
whenever,
the
yes
stuff.
ma'am, so whenever I book the show, at that same time, I will text them and just say, you know, we're gonna meet 3 weeks ahead of time to sit down and go over your show with you, and and I stay in touch that way. Because honestly, most of my parties are 4 to 6 months out, so I wouldn't be given packets. Now, if you're new, you're gonna, you want to book close and you want to pull them in close and give them an incentive to do that. So you would be meeting with them the next day versus months out. Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever had that boosters that doesn't want to get any pre-sales at all?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have. Now, I was going to tell you this, talk about it later tonight, but if you ever wonder how you can improve your business, there's a couple areas that you can look at. And to start with, it's your $250 gift cards. Look back at your shows, and if you're not getting both of those, then there's an area you need to work on and maybe raise your commitment. If she's not getting 100 in sales, but she's holding it on the original day, then maybe you need to do something to encourage her and entice her to get that 100 and make it 300. If it's holding it on the original day but not getting 100, or vice versa, or if you're canceling, then you need to, do something different. Like, hey girl, I got that hostess gift for you. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. And then they'll be excited and they'll get back in touch with you because they want the gift, or either they'll say, oh, she got me a gift and I better not cancel, or let me tell her that I'm not going to be there. So and then the other one is 3 bookings, and that's obviously something at your party you need to work on, a booking activity and role play it and get comfortable with it. So 2 areas, 2 gift cards that you can always look at to see how you're doing in your own personal business. Anybody else have a question?
Great job.
Yeah.